Hello, everyone. This is Hendrix from Starseed Talk, and today we're going to interview Azure. And introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Azure. I'm from Wisconsin, USA. I'm almost 30 this Christmas, and Starseed origin, I would say is Pleiades. So the seven sisters, and also planet Earth. So yeah, that's me.
So, when did you have your first spiritual awakening that you knew you were like a star seed and from a different universe?
Right. I think I've always known that it was just more of a progression into all of the answers. Because when I was like 5, I wasn't like other kids and go play like at recess. I would just go like stand there and try to think of where I even came from, I guess. And just like before, I guess once I heard about the Big Bang, I was so interested in figuring out like the before and whatnot, just where we're from. Deep questions. And then recently, I guess 2020, a few years after my dad passed, it was the first time I really dealt with like death up front. I had a really huge spiritual awakening after having kids, and I guess becoming more spiritually connected with myself as well as children and the planet. There was a lot of different things that changed. I was more aware of like portals, spirit guides and ancestors. My kids actually do a lot of have a lot of gifts too. So they're helpful. Kids are really helpful too in the whole spiritual awakening process.
How old are your kids, and what type of gifts do they have?
Um, okay, so my oldest, he's only 4, almost 5. He was born on Valentine's Day, and he was like a blessing because he was born a month after my father passed. And then less than 2 years later, we had Breeze. And then less than 2 years later, we had Legacy. So we had all boys, and they're all a year and a half apart. They're about 1 year, almost 3, and almost 5. So, yep, they're a
What's their
handful.
abilities?
Oh, whew, that's like hard. We haven't really tested all of them. I've seen Marlo. Um, he's kind of like the internet where I can ask him any question really that I'm not sure of, and he'll like just blatantly say what the answer is. So I don't really know if he where he gets his answers from. They can also like they see um I think it's grandpa they see a spirit sometimes around, which I don't always see it, but also Marlo has our oldest has teleported, which she like opened up a portal in our house, which was really weird. And then he like um disappeared out of like my grasp and was across the entire house. I still can't really explain it because I was looking all over for him and then he was just way over there. It was super weird. He remembers it. He can talk more because he like has the ability to now. He used to not be able to, so I talk for him more, but
Nice. Yeah, my daughter, she's 6.5 months old, and before she incarnated into this lifetime, she used to visit me in my dreams. And this is before I knew my wife was pregnant. And I was like, this little girl keeps visiting me in my dreams, and she doesn't say anything. She just looks up at me, and she's looks exactly like her mother. And she keeps smiling at me. And then I woke up next to my wife, and I'm like, I swear someone's pregnant. Like someone's having a daughter. Like I don't know who it is, but this little girl keeps visiting me. And then
yeah.
2 weeks after that, my daughter was born. And
That's all.
then my daughter, she always visits me in my dreams, and but as a 6 or 7 year old, and she always talks to me, and we go have fun and hang out. And she always reminds, the reason why she visits me when she's 6 or 7 is because it's a past life thing. So I always die at age 44. So I always die really young. This is
Mm-hmm.
our second lifetime together. So this is my second lifetime with my daughter. She's the same daughter playing the same role in this lifetime, and I got the same wife as my last incarnation. So this is a redo.
Mhm.
And I only get to see what she looks like when I die. Never get to see what she looks like past that point. So if I don't get past age 44, so another 9 more years in this lifetime, then I don't. There's a goal I have to reach, or I keep reincarnating here over and over again
Mhm.
until I learn it and move on.
Right.
And
So
so
you,
pardon?
there's something for you to learn maybe this lifetime. Maybe there's something for you to learn deeper. I guess as
Mhm.
you the recurring patterns and stuff. Well, see, I have problems like figuring all that out. I know that have similar we've gone through many, 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 many lifetimes, and figuring out that exact number is hard. So
Yeah,
probably
I learned in
mhm,
life from my spiritual guides and just common sense that every lifetime nothing really matters except your life lesson that you need to learn here. You incarnate into this dimension with a life goal, and if you don't achieve that goal, you reincarnate in this lifetime over and over again until you eventually get it. So it could take 1,000 lifetimes till you eventually get it. But then you have
mhm,
spirit guides that watch over you and give you hints and numbers. They don't speak English, they speak
yeah,
in metaphors and hints, right? So you
no,
got to
yeah.
really be perceptive of what's going on and what's happening, and
All
they'll
the
always
time.
guide you.
That's
Yeah.
why I have a shirt on here. All all of the signs. Yep.
Yeah.
Totally understand where you're coming from there.
Well, it's nice to speak to someone that understands because when I talk to a human about this, it doesn't like, comprehend to them.
Yeah.
But
No.
yeah, so it's just I've become more. The reason I've been taking a break from the show for the last 9 months is I had a daughter. We moved, we bought a house. I sometimes I really have to unplug myself from being awakened because it's a lot going off world. Hello,
This is the oldest. This is
oldest
Marlo. Hey, hi.
Marlo. That's the one that
Yeah.
had the teleport thing.
Yep. He's my little Cupid. Born on Valentine's Day. Yep. They're my
Aw,
babies.
the
Hi, boo.
future star seeds.
Love you. Yeah, they're so adorable.
Yeah, I
Oh,
find the new kids incarnating here are really special and they have lots of strong abilities. So.
yeah. Well, I only know his incarnation because he was my dad's reincarnation.
Mhm. Yeah, a
So
lot of people see when people die, like as a star seed, I wish I could teach them, like, don't get upset or sad. Like, you're gonna see them again. Like, nothing ever dies. Even Jesus teaches that death is a lie, that everything is recycled and energy is never
yeah,
destroyed. It's just transferred to another life form. Like my five cats are a representation of my five best friends off world that
yeah,
always are my life guides and always watch over me. But this is their lower vibrational selves in
yeah.
these cat bodies to keep me company and feel loved and have friendship.
Becca. I think that's why he has so many answers outside of the box. So I'll ask him, which way do I go if I'm lost? And he'll be like, right. He like knows so much for a 4-year-old. So he'll just be like,
So
this way, and it'll always be right.
what that is so like I have the ability to the ability is like I clear my mind, and if someone can ask me a question and the answer will pop right up in my head like an internet, and
Yeah.
I can speak the answer and I already know how to uh do what they're asking of me because it's just like a diagram is downloaded in my head.
That's really interesting how kids have like a combination of their parents too. Cause mine is more like future like psychic stuff and clairvoyance, like mind reading and future. I get like visions. Do you know what I mean? I get
Mhm.
visions a lot. Kind of like That's So Raven. I know that's cheesy, but it's like that kind of.
Yeah.
Give me a little space, okay? I'll be right there. I know you want to sit right here. Here. You're so close up. Here, sit right here. There you go. If we're doing Starseed interview, say
So
hi.
you teach your kids the starseed stuff when they're young?
Hi. Yeah, they're he's really smart. He's my oldest, so basically him, and then his brother Breeze is kind of close to his age. He's really big for his age, so they do like everything together. And like
Yeah, I think
he's
it's a
just
very strong point to teach your kids at a very young age spirituality and who they are and where they come from, so they can keep on their memories from their past lives. Like my daughter, I try to teach her about her past life. So she's only 6.5 months, but you could tell she's super intelligent compared to other kids and super intuitive. So
sorry, buddy. I gotta fix the phone. You knocked it over a little bit. It's okay, Bubba. You can stay. It's fine. Just don't bump the phone. Sorry.
okay.
You want to go hang out with Daddy? Okay. He wants to hang out. Yeah.
So when you found out you were Starseed, did you attract your husband? Is he the same way?
Do you want to answer that question? I don't know. He has like mega brain abilities for building like electronics that connect to the spirit world.
I have multiple inventions
And also,
in energy.
Yeah.
And the most
But I have toys.
Okay, buddy. Can you go hang out with Daddy, please? Over there. I know you want it to be your interview. Yeah, we can. Come here. Here, bud. I have some space here. Okay, just back up a little bit and don't bump the phone.
Okay, let's we're interviewing your mother, so let's get your mother to talk about her experiences for all the other Starseeds that are going to watch this show.
Yeah, sit.
And I want you to also give some advice when you have Starseed kids, like what's the best way to teach them to be awakened and stuff.
You have to be very patient at first. Everything's really redundant. So once you get through that stage, yeah, it's a lot easier once they're like after baby stage, because then you can really start to explain things, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And
do they ever talk about their past life memories to you?
They have memories. They don't really talk about them, but they do things that I remember from their past lives because I was there. Like I said, Marlo's past life was my dad's.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember my dad's favorite thing was like John Wayne movies. And when Marlo was born, he went into like a bunch of stuff that was like hidden. I don't even know where it was. And he pulled out a like John Wayne photograph.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, he wouldn't even know what that is because he was like one, and he handed it to me. And then he had like a little TV in his toy room playing, and he walked up to it when he first started walking, like pointed at it, and, like put his hand up on it, like touched the screen, and was just like standing there with his hand on the screen, like he was having a moment. And I was just like non-existent watching it, but it was really cool. Yes, there's Kitty. Yep. So I don't know. There's been a lot of moments. Trying to remember the main ones. Yeah, be nice to Kitty meals.
Do you so when your kids go to school and they know they're different than humans, do they fit in with other kids there, or are they the black sheep there?
Well, so far they've definitely been the black sheep. They fit in together. All three of them are always together, but yeah, with others, they're really good with other kids. They understand them and get along and stuff. I don't think they really notice a difference yet. They're not old enough. Like I said, he's still 4, so I guess we'll see. He doesn't really notice a difference. He's very open-minded.
Yeah, I believe a lot of kids in school are a lot like him nowadays, so it'll probably be easier for him to fit in than it was for us back in the day to fit in.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel with your country with Joe Biden and all those people?
I don't know. I kind of just accept that I have no control over it, really.
Mm-hmm.
I have done voting. I have done no voting. I've like I've done it, but I don't know. I just feel like, honestly, I don't feel like they ever anyone's best interest in mind, because they're like they're oligarchs and stuff. So obviously they don't care about the people. They just consume all the money and resources, really. We're like
Yeah, I don't think
slaves.
we have any hope at all. So
Yeah, we don't really have much say. I mean, it's sad to say, but we're like modern day slaves building civilization. I don't feel like we should build it for them. I feel like we should be doing things more self-sustainably, you know, our own land, our own food, our own like free energy devices and solar panels and all that stuff.
unfortunately, that stuff's not going to happen until after the revolution. But the revolution is going to kill a lot of people off, and that's going to be the new world that is created. And they're going to talk about the old world that we used to live in. They're going to burn malls. They're going to burn money for warmth. Like it's going to be a completely different world. We got to make sure that we don't transition into this new world order control thing they want to go through. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting and rough.
All of our kids are free and then we have to go back to like jobs.
Yeah, I've been saying we need to basically just be completely self-sustainable, not like hooked up to society or people farms or that's what cities are. I call them people farms or just like all organic, self-reliant. Hi, you go over there, Marlo. Yeah, I don't know. So government, not really my thing.
you know what my prediction is this whole Russia thing. Russia, I believe, is tired of the West and their bullshit. And I bet you Russia turns out to be the good guys when they actually go down to war and take down the United States government. I think that's what's going to happen. And then US is going to lose this war, but they're going to lose the war because the government falls because the people of the United States fight back against their own government, and Russia
Yeah.
kind of liberates them against their own government and then wakens them up. Because in Russia, they talk about Starseed kids all the time. They talk about aliens. Everything's all full disclosure out there, right? So the humans here have to understand that in Canada, in the United States, and Western world countries, we are the enemy. We are the bad guys here. Our government's the bad guys here. Everywhere else in the East, they're just fed up with our fucking shit.
I believe that too. Our government is linked to the royals, I guess. I don't know. I think it's a whole like thing. It's
Yeah.
all linked. Government system. It's like a big black hole matrix. It's sucked up into. I don't know.
Yeah.
You never researched that stuff enough. Like the whole Gates thing. Don't you get me started.
You know that all that stuff is irrelevant because the only way you can actually leave this world without the reincarnation karma effect is through spirituality, through pure ascension. So if you can do that on your own, you don't need to worry about anything in this world. So
Yeah. Yeah. I have like some. Oh. Yeah, the gate fell. It's okay. I have some memory. Oh, he wants to be part of the interview so bad.
just tell him next time when he's older, he can be a part of it.
Yeah. He
This
loves
this is about mummy.
Yeah, he loves the attention.
Well, sometimes you gotta say no.
Yeah, sometimes you do. He's at that age though, and he's definitely a mama's boy.
They all are.
Yeah.
Even my daughter is like, or mama's girl. Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely a dadda's. What do you call it? A daddy's girl. I was definitely a daddy's girl, so I'm heartbroken for life. But I also know that his energy is still here and everything. So it's just the more missing. I have all the memories and I remember a lot of things. Just I guess in this life, like I have, how do I put it without sounding crazy? I have like died, incarnated, so not reincarnated, but incarnated. Like came back right away in the same body and flesh, same soul.
They call that as a walk-in. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember all those things before and after and whatnot.
Oh, I have full memory of what happens between death and incarnation, like death in between and then incarnation. You literally, when you leave your body, you're literally just like a ball of energy, like
Yeah.
yay big. And then you float up into the universe. You're one with the universe. The universe is consciousness. Everything is one. It's like the big motherboard, and then there's these portals that open up that your soul flies through, and there's no fear, there's no pain, there's no happiness, excitement, no hunger, nothing. It's just pure existence. And
Yeah.
it's just like you're watching like you have two eyes and that's it. And then you just float around, and then you go to this big screen, and the screen has a guy standing there, and it asks you where do you want to incarnate next. And then these two screens have all these lifetimes flickering, but every time every lifetime flickers, you understand everything within seconds, and you don't need to like sit there and watch a movie of it. And then you choose this one or this one. It tells you the time frame you're going to be there for, the mission. Everything is a game and a learning lesson, right? And then you incarnate into Earth, like for this incarnation, and then you portal through your mother's birth, and then you're into a third dimensional body, and then you have your fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional selves looking over you as your higher guides, and you just are here for some people have been here for thousands of lifetimes, and they just don't care. They love it here, they don't want to move on. Some people are here for one lifetime and they can't handle it, they suicide and they leave. Like for example, I have a family member that is their father is really ill and he's dying. He's like stage 4 cancer. He's on his way out, but he's living in their house, causing so much pain and hardship, always in and out of the hospital. And they're just trying to let him hang on for a couple more weeks or months. At that point, there's no point in torturing yourself. Just end yourself and move on to the next life. You don't have to be bound to your third dimensional body anymore.
Do
Just
I
move
have
on.
to explain to them? Do they know?
You can't explain that to a human because they don't understand death. All they understand is that death is the end and they'll never see them again. They've been lied to for thousands of years. Even if you go back into Egyptians know that your body leaves and goes to the next life. It says it all over their tombs and everything. Like all civilization, even Hopi Indians believe that, except for Christians and Catholics, because it was taken out of their Bibles of the Jesus teachings because it was a control. They don't want to know they don't want people to know that they can just leave to the next life and go somewhere else.
Yeah. I believe, how do I put it? I have a belief, not a religion, because I am more of a believer in the universe itself, which is pantheism. So I'm more of a believer than a religious person. I have a little Buddha, but I mean, I'm not like religious really. I've studied different religions. I grew up Catholic. I wasn't really into it though. There's a lot of truths and metaphors and a lot of things that I am because of it, learn from it, but I don't like wholeheartedly am tied to like one religion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, no, religion is just a branding to make a business and make money. That's all it is. Anyone I have a few Christian friends that are on my hockey team, and they are hardcore Christians. They don't believe in reincarnation because it's not in the Bible. Dinosaurs were put there to test them. Blah blah blah. Like they're so indoctrinated and so brainwashed that I can never have a conversation with them on spirituality. And a lot of starseeds have this problem. A lot of starseeds ask, how do I wake my friends up? And you can't. Like aliens even tell me, you cannot save everyone. You can only save yourself. Lead by example. And for those that are smart enough to notice and wake up on their own and self-educate on their own, then they can save themselves. But they can. And in the Bible, it even says that God will come for judgment day and then the harvest will happen. Then from a starseed perspective, reading that sounds like an alien race is coming to Earth to harvest human for their meat, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, oh, I was built to serve the gods. Well, gods are just aliens. That's all it is. God is just a 21st century understanding of it. Back then, they knew fiery chariots were spaceships. They all knew that because we had spaceships for ourselves. And people nowadays are more brainwashed, more dumber today than they were 100 years ago, or even 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years ago, they were way more spiritual, way more advanced, way more healthier. And we are so dumb today that the population is so retarded that that's why I have to stop doing teachings, because it's like talking to a rock. Like I could talk to my cats about this and they understand more than a human. A human only understands money, debt, and materialistic things. Oh, we only have 10 minutes because it says I have to upgrade to a bigger package too.
Okay.
So we got 10 minutes.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Okay. So anything else you'd like to share about your spirituality? Because this is all about you, not me.
Oh yeah, I was just telling them that I'm really bad at talking about myself, and I didn't prepare. I always wing everything I shouldn't wing.
Mhm.
But when I did do the incarnation thing, it was when I was in a really weird spot in my life because I didn't grow up with my dad. I had to come find him at 16, and because I didn't get along with my mom very well, I grew up on the fort. And then when I came here, I had like a drinking problem because I didn't have a social life growing up. I didn't have siblings. I was very alone, so I didn't understand society, and I fell into that like group. I thought it was normal. I started drinking, realized I got hooked. So I had to spend like a couple years getting out of that whole thing, and that's when I crashed my car while drinking. That was a whole epiphany when I went into the darkness and the light and came back. That's how I explain it, and really fast too. There was no like pause or anything. I just knew it happened really fast, and that's what was supposed to happen. I feel I had to come back and correct things in my life or injustices, and also show others how unjust it really is. Like the system, like I went to jail for cannabis was really the only reason why I started drinking. Um, and I did cannabis because I had PTSD from my childhood abuse. When I was up at the reservation fort, there was a lot of weird things going on. I don't know. It was just I had some like childhood traumas, I guess, why I used that. And when I couldn't do that, I started drinking because like society's so like, oh, this is fine. And I didn't know that it was addicted because I didn't really have a social life before that. So I just fell into that trap. And when I came back, I made it my mission to make sure people could like heal and understand the trap of the system, getting out of it, having a better life. And just seeing the positive life because I was really depressed back then, and also the injustices of like our government using children. I guess I do a lot of like mission work for orphanages across seas, specifically in Africa. Um, and that's like dear to my heart and soul since I can remember. So I'm really fortunate. I've gotten a lot of like um, links to be able to do that, and that's really fulfilling me behind the scenes. And I feel like I'm doing my mission as a mom in multiple ways because we have so much love to give, actually, and just showing people that there's more to life. Just being that light.
Mhm.
Showing
Yeah, I
them,
think
yeah,
you're here to save certain ones, not everyone. I've learned that over the last since 2012. Like I'm like, oh, in 2012, I'm like, let's save everyone, blah blah blah. And when you get like what 10 years ago, and like you get to a point where you just become more self-educated. It's all about self-teachings, and it's very obvious what this planet is. A lot of humans don't understand this planet is heavily alien orientated,
yeah,
heavily alien controlled. The
yeah,
best analogy for this world is the movie Jupiter Ascending with Channing Tatum. It's dead on to what this world is. Humans,
wonderful.
there are people trying to teach humans, but they teach it through movies. Most of our movies come from full disclosure. That's how they're teaching us slowly. And the reason why they are even teaching us is because they have to. There are fourth and fifth and sixth dimensional beings, which humans call aliens, that are angels that do look over us. And there has to be a thing called free will. So as long as the demonic aliens, the evil aliens, or evil humans, they tell us what's going to happen. Like they told us COVID was going to happen um,
Hmm.
2 years before it was going to happen. It was written in a book and fully disclosed. Now they're talking about the Great Reset, and they fully wrote it in book, showed it as full disclosure, exactly play by play how they're going to do it for the next 10 years till 2030. And
Yeah.
as long as there's free will disclosure and we don't do anything about it, we just sit back and let it happen, then they're allowed to do it. But if there was a free will infringement, then these higher dimensional beings step in and stop them. God cannot step in unless if free will infringement is stepped on or infringed. So humans have
Mhm.
to be aware and say no more. But like to get that to happen, they're so distracted by the control matrix that aliens have set up for them that
Right.
they don't care. All they care about is the next paycheck, the next paycheck. There's a reason why humans have to live paycheck to paycheck. Huh?
Yeah, I go on about that all the time. Just today, I was actually going on a little spew about how angry I am about just everyone's so hooked on the work they have to do or the career they think is going to make them millions or whatever, famous or whatever they're doing right now is like probably not important enough compared to this stuff. Like just going off about it always makes me irritated.
Okay, well, we're almost out of time here. So thank you for sharing your story today on
Yep.
such short notice. And
No problem.
hopefully we can get some more videos here, but more people have to email me to come on the show because I'm not going to chase anyone down.
Do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true that. The more of us talk, the more answers we have for people. I've had so many people email me because they found this channel and they answers their questions. This channel is for starseeds and carnies for them to help them with their awakening. Because I'm tired of people asking me questions. So if they watch these videos, hopefully these videos answer their questions without asking me a question. So it
There you go.
saves me time.
Thank you
Anyways,
so much.
love and light, sister, and love and light to you and your family.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.